It all started with 3,542 teams, all with the hopes of claiming a semblance of accomplishment in the world of CSGO. And of those 3,542 teams, only 32 progressed to the minors, while the rest fell to waste in the abyss of underachievement. The remaining teams participated in weeks of tempestuous combat. 24 emerged, stepping into the coveted majors. While 8 blew into the winds of the defeated. And now, we have reached the denouement of this story. 2 teams remain, but only one will be the champion. Let's find out who. Right now. Wembley, get hype. It's time for the FACEIT London Major Grand Final.
A 3-week-long marathon with one goal, to crown the current king of Counter-Strike. Just one day, one game now separate us from the coronation. 2 candidates, the unstoppable Astralis, with structure and restraint like no one else, and the raw firepower and brilliance of NaVi, the world's #1 and #2. Enter the SSE Arena live from London. It is the FACEIT Major, and I am so goddamn excited. It's none other than Chad Sponge Birch. We'll give him one more warm welcome, please, Wembley. You're amazing. Thank you so much. And of course, Sean Gares as well. They used to hold the mouse and keyboard. Now they put the mic in their face and talk about the others. Sean, this is the big one.
Yeah, this is. And I can't remember the last time we had the #1 and 2 teams battling in the major finals. We get to watch them in a best-of-3 to determine who is the #1 team in the world.
Yeah,
concrete.
It's actually happening. We've got #1, #2, grand final, $1 million. It's all here, Chad. Everything you need.
With 2 very distinct play styles, right? The way that Astralis approached the game to the way that the guys from NaVi approached the game. It's going to be a clash. We've already seen it once in this tournament. The fact we get it again, and we get to see if Astralis can actually establish that era that we've been talking about. That's going to be absolutely huge.
I mean, it has been up in the air of like, oh, some people think, yes, the Astralis era is here. Some say that we need another major. Well, perhaps it will be locked in stone, Sean, should they pick this one up.
Yeah, I mean, both of these teams have won countless titles over the last year. NaVi won 3 in a row in the middle of summer. Astralis have won 5 dating back to last year. These teams are at the top of their game. Their map pools are similar. Their styles are so different, though, like Chad said. NaVi depending heavily on their individual aimers. Astralis using that teamwork and tactics. So this is definitely a brawl and a clash.
It is, it is. And if you want to get involved and join the conversation, you can do so with the hashtag FACEITMajor. Nice and easy to let us know what you're watching, who's taking this one. We were just talking to some of the fans, and it does seem straight up 50-50 again. I mean, I don't think I feel like a broken record, but there is clear fans for both sides stepping into this one.
Well, look, there's a lot of support for NaVi, and I think that's the heart, the way that these guys play the game. It excites the crowd, where a lot of people keep saying that Astralis play boring Counter-Strike. And And once again, I'm going to tell everybody, it's not boring Counter-Strike. It's the most beautiful Counter-Strike I've ever seen, and I hope we get more of it today.
Yes, and of course, beautiful Counter-Strike has been the name of the game for so many years now. In fact, we have your top 8 major players from the history of those majors all time. And already we can see some recognizable faces. Simple, his performances at the major, it is certainly worthy of a trophy. He's been climbing.
I call Simple the god of Counter-Strike. I call him the greatest player to ever touch the game. His awareness and his approach and his style and flair while doing it, it's like none other. Sure, we talk about Coldzera up in the top 3. Sure, we talk about Nico up there as well. But the fact of the matter is, Simple for me, if he grabs this major trophy, if he continues this rampage, he has to go down as the greatest Counter-Strike player of all time.
He clashed with Coldzera, who holds the top spot, and we can see how that worked out to put NaVi in that final. And both 2-0s as well, Sean. Both of those semi-finals seemed rather clear-cut.
Yeah, and Simple Electronic coming up huge time and time again this event for NaVi. The big players are shining. Simple with a 1.48 rating. That's almost unheard of on a major level, this deep into the major. Electronic right behind him, and then Flamey right behind him. The top 3 performers so far from this major, all on NaVi.
And they're all stepping onto that stage in just a moment's time.
Well, actually, the top 5 are all stepping onto this stage, because then it goes Device and Magic's in the 4th and 5th spots respectively. So it means that we have the best performers from this tournament all going head-to-head. Not only that, we have 5 players who've already lifted major trophies split between the 2 teams. 4 from Astralis and obviously Zeus from NaVi. Simple's been up there, tried before. He hasn't been able to do it. Let's see if he can get it this time.
Oh my goodness, there is just so many storylines. We'll continue to unravel them as this death does continue. But first, if we want to get a grand final started, we need teams. And I think, Wembley, you know what to do.
When it's all gone, the times that we spent just a memory. It's been too long to try it all again. Can you see that the sky is falling right now as I'm walking out the door?
So, what is the recipe for a compelling grand final of CSGO? Well, you want a dash of tension. You want a sprinkle of suspense. And lastly, you want a monstrous dose of carnage. Well, tonight, that's exactly what you're gonna get.
Can you see that the sky is falling right now as I'm walking out the door? Oh, baby, now it's all or nothing.
Fans, brace yourself, because here we go.
But I just can't stand the pain. Oh, baby, now it's all or nothing. Oh.
The powerhouse NaVi versus the juggernaut Astralis. It's showtime, Wembley.
Oh, baby, now it's all or nothing.
London, bring the noise for Astralis and NaVi.
Your grand finalists for Astralis, Device, Dupree, Zipex, Glaive, and Magisk. For NaVi, Edward, Flamey, Simple, Zeus, and Electronic. Wembley, they're stepping into those booths. This is your chance. Let them hear you. A grand final that I just cannot contain my excitement for. It's a clash of styles, it's a clash of legends and names you don't so often get to see clash with so much on the line.
You can't deny how the team from Astralis got to this point. This run for them has taken on FaZe, Liquid, and now they have to beat NaVi if they want to lift the trophy. They haven't done it the easy way, but they've made it look easy, and that's something to really attest to for these guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to be beautiful. NaVi, as a storyline in themselves, we're about to take a closer look at them, Sean. It's been a journey of low lows and incredibly high highs. No one's quite done it like NaVi.
Yeah, when they finally pieced together the roster, they brought Zeus back from Gambit. We all expected instant success after that major win from Zeus. And it wasn't the case. It wasn't the case. And they brought in Electronic. They still struggled right off the bat. Everyone questioned that pickup. Electronic being a young up-and-comer. And somehow he's managed to flourish in the system. And they brought NaVi now 3 titles in the span of the summer. So yeah, they're definitely up there now.
Yeah, now aiming for the big one, of course, the major trophy sitting between their booths right now. Let's focus on NaVi first.
Your inner focus should be to improve yourself. Whew. We finally did it. We passed the group stage. It's feel great. Feel great to be a legend again. I've never been at FACEIT tournaments. This is my first time, but I believe it's gonna be huge. You should work on yourself every day, all your free time, because this is the main goal for every team and every player to win a major.
All your energy should be on winning of the major.
I need to do unexpected things and some magic.
Oh yes, NaVi, their Counter-Strike certainly doesn't put you to sleep because they've got some names like no other. Simple, one of the names that we're going to be talking an awful lot about alongside the likes of Electronic and Flamey, this trio which brings the fire, and to waft that flame is Edward and Zeus, who actually we have been giving a whole lot of credit to. Everyone has been pulling their weight to get them here.
Every piece of this puzzle has actually been firing on all cylinders with crunch moments, and it's, you know, it hasn't been the simple show. Everybody has been chiming in, and that is what's so impressive. When this roster first came together, we were really worried about it not actually living up to the hype. But now, with a bit of time, with a bit of patience, and a couple of fights in between, this NaVi roster has finally realized its full potential. And can they give Simple a major trophy here?
It was none other than NIP, FaZe, Fnatic, Big Clan, and MIBR all fell by the wayside to this NaVi roster. Those are no slouches. Those are names that even have lifted trophies before, and NaVi steamrolled them.
Yeah, I would argue before the playoff stage, NaVi might have had the hardest route to get to the playoff stage, which is why Edward was so happy that they made it out of that initial group stage.
Yeah.
They actually had to play Astralis earlier in this tournament. We can't forget that. They lost 16-13. That was a map that could have literally gone either way. Yep.
I think when you look at this team and the way that they approached the game early, it was just to break you, break your economy, keep the pressure on, allow the stars to get those rifles in their hands no matter what, and destroy you. That tapered off, that changed. They showed some structure, they showed some poise. Their spacing's been fantastic. Their trading is what has gotten to them to this point. They are the best in 4v5 scenarios, and that's because their trading has been so on point.
Yes, and of course their raw aim as well. I think there's a demo to back this one up called Aim Factor. You want to talk to me about this one?
Yeah. So this is actually on their Dust 2 match against Big, and here we see Electronic doing what he does best, fragging out. It's something so simple, just a pop flash catwalk right as the smoke fades, perfect timing, gets that initial kill, and he actually re-peaks for more. And that's something that separates NaVi from Astralis. This is a huge individual play, and this is something we can see out of NaVi time and time again. Constantly going for more kills, trusting their aim, trusting their superstars, whereas Astralis, they might play the situation passive and not re-peek into that angle.
There's only a couple of players on that Astralis
this
roster
last
who,
shot.
Yeah, it's quite spicy, isn't it? Who do it time and time again, and Dupree's been the man stepping up for Astralis when the flare's been needed. But it feels like almost everybody on this NaVi roster has been able to do it. Even Zeus has had moments where those multi-kill impact rounds have been hugely pivotal.
I'm looking at the head-to-head, and as a core, as organizations, they have played so much Counter-Strike against one another.
Yeah.
We're looking at like 60 games.
Yeah, in 2018 alone, they played on LAN 9 maps of Counter-Strike. Navi's won 4, Astralis has won 5. This is about as close as it gets when it comes to a 1 and 2.
And a 16-14 game at this major already. This is just almost guaranteed to be close, blockbuster Counter-Strike. Now we have to talk about their opponents. It's Astralis. We'll take this next.
Thanks for watching us, guys. I really appreciate all the great comments you're giving us. It feels great to play under the Astralis banner, and I hope we can go all the way in this major.
I'm extremely proud of my team and myself to finally be here.
A roster formed out of a fantastic fire. They lost Kierby, bring in Magisk, and if anything, they just got scarier to play in the server.
Something else that's hugely impressive with this roster is 4 out of the 5 of them have already felt what it's like to lift a major trophy, have already felt what it's like to climb to the top of the mountain and be crowned world champions. I think here with their style, their percentage plays, the fact that they are able to play Flary when they need to, this is one of the best Counter-Strike rosters I think that I've ever seen touch the game.
It's a very short list of teams that have got double majors, Sean.
It is indeed, and this is one of those teams where you almost want to hate them because they're so good as a team. They always play the percentage situations. It's like almost the New England Patriots in football. It's so easy to dislike this team because they are so good.
Yes, I think that's actually such an interesting discussion. When we say they play the percentages, and I think it has to be said, if ever we were going to talk about it again, Chad, it would be in the grand final. Playing the percentages. Every time I watch, even a lot of the pro players that I get to work with and share desk with, they just get irritated by how smart every decision made by the Astralis players is. They don't take fights they shouldn't.
They limit their mistakes, you know. When they know that they've lost a battle, they're happy to save and fight again another day. When they know that they shouldn't overpeak a situation and wait for a teammate, they will. But the really interesting factor for me is players like Dupree even can make those decisions but seem to find holes and gaps to make the flary moves. It doesn't make sense and it shouldn't work, but it does. And the fact of the matter is that structure, I guess, has allowed him to make those plays and at least make that impact in this tournament.
Yeah, and one other thing that we have to talk about is the demo selected regarding Force Buy. Sean, you want to explain this one?
Yeah, so I chose this demo because this is a new side to Astralis. As Chad says, they're showing that they can brawl now. They're willing to make these Force Buys. They went back and forth in this game against Liquid, and this is the last round of the half. Glaive throws a simple pop flash through the roof. It blinds Twist, who's that player you see in Heaven. And just the way that they take the bomb site is so gorgeous. The guy swinging front silo with the guy peeking hut and the guy coming out door simultaneously. The smoke goes down. And then their spacing to hold Heaven is perfect. So that way the trade would happen. They have a nice little twist boosting into the rafters. It's just so many small details go into making a round like this happen.
It's like they've already thought 5, 6, 7 steps ahead. When you get into that bomb site almost for free, they've already considered doing the boost into the rafter. A lot of teams would be flustered, they'd be looking for kills, they'd be running around the bomb site trying to get the best positions. But the preparation that Astralis do means whenever they get into a scenario, everybody knows how to react. Everybody knows what that percentage play is, what the most likely way to win a round would be, and the best way about going about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's so cool about the Astralis boys and those from NaVi is that they have such clear and distinct styles. This Brawl, though, this is something that I find very interesting. How does that interact with NaVi when they are known for putting their foot on your throat when you're down?
NaVi is what I like to call a dirty team.
Okay.
They like to buy with the lowest amounts of money. 2 3s with 1 AK. You know, Simple will have a CZ or a Deagle, and you'll see Edward running around with an AK, and you're wondering, where's this going? And they always make it work. They always break your economy. They'll keep trying and trying and trying. And Astralis is going to have to win rounds like that if they want to win this best of 3.
But I'm sitting next to Sean Gares and Sponge, who both have previously told me, oh, force buy culture, it's bad, you know, look at the French, look at where that got them. Why are we praising NaVi for it? Is it because they get away with it?
It's because they make it work in any scenario. It isn't just run and gun. It's not buy tech 9s and run over the boost and hope you find some lucky kills or players out of position. It's working zones of the map. It's playing the rotations. It's making sure when they get that kill, they know how to capitalize as a unit. And the fact that they can do that, even if they don't win the round, they just do so much economic damage. And that's going to force you to play mistakes. You won't have a Molotov for one of your protocols. You know, you won't have a smoke to block off a choke point. And when that happens, they slip on in and they punish you.
Yeah, it is going to be so much fun to watch. I'm already getting excited. We're getting closer to game time. A quick reminder of one of our sponsors while we're here. It's called epics.gg. You can collect your favorite CSGO pros, such as the ones taken to the stage. You can do it on your phone or head to the website epics.gg. Give them a wave, Wembley. Give them a wave. Let them hear you. Bet they wish they were here now. The grand finals on their way. Oh my God. First, let's take a look at the head-to-head. 2 names, and I'm so intrigued to see how these two interact and intersect during this major final.
How could we not pick Simple, the god of Counter-Strike, and Device, one of the best AWP players in the world? The way that he roams around in the backyard of Train, the way that he, re-peeks corners, just his approach to, I guess, the professionalism of being a star AWPer is something we haven't seen, whereas Simple is like, I'm going to do everything outside of the box, make it look easy and make it work, and be the best player in the world with pistols, rifles, clutching, whatever you want, he can do it. So this toe-to-toe, Device is going to have to do everything he normally does, while we hope Simple elevates his level even more.
And I mean, Sean, just to add on to that, we have to address that, look at those ratings. Device has been, we call him consistent. He doesn't necessarily have to have the flair to be one of those highest rated players.
No, Device has been up there for years now. You almost forget how young he is because he's been at the top of the scene for so long, but Simple is unlike any player I have ever seen in my life. He is by far the best Counter-Strike player I have ever seen.
And not a single major trophy in his cabinet to back that up. Perhaps today, here live from London. A quick reminder that you guys can let us know who you think's taking this one. I said it feels like a 50-50, at least from the people I've spoken to here in the SSE, but you can let us know on the Upcomer app. It's www.com, upcomer.com. Nice and easy. You can do that, and it looks like 57-43. Yeah, that sounds about right.
A couple of people playing with their noggins there. I think, it has to be a heart versus head kind of discussion here. If you don't go with Astralis based off of how professional, how well-rounded the brand of Counter-Strike they bring, then, you're really hoping that Electronic and Simple can continue to play at that level.
Yeah.
You know that Astralis can do it. The question is, this is Electronic's first time in a grand final. There's lots of pressure on him.
This is new. This is a whole new experience for Electronic. I don't think I've ever seen that man look under pressure, but the vetoes is where that pressure starts to mount.
Lots of fun we can have with this one. Neither team likes to play cash, but the fact of the matter is Astralis are happy to let it through and maybe take the risk because it's Navi's perma-ban. But
no train again.
No,
that's Astralis.
Oh, that's Astralis.
That's Astralis' ban. And that's a standard ban right there.
Navi banned cash. Okay, so that's kind of what we expected out of the two teams.
But what now, Sean?
And Astralis picks Nuke. And this is a map they're 18-0 on in their last 18. Navi is 0-3 against them this year, so they're part of that 0-18. But Navi is an extremely strong Nuke team, and the overpass pick comes from Navi. This is kind of expected.
I'm really curious to see because historically Astralis have been a fantastic team on overpass. They had a lot of innovation that execute on B that I talked about time and time again, Alex. The fact is, though, maybe Navi feel that there has been a bit of a weakness in the Astralis camp on that map because it hasn't been something they've been leaning to, not something they've really been picking in many of their matchups. Dust2's going to go out. We've seen a lot more of that in the Legends stage, but...
So that leaves us with Inferno, or we see Mirage.
I feel it's going to, if Navi get the choice, they're going to take it to Mirage. Like, that's a map that they have such a huge win percentage on.
In Cologne, though, when the two met up and Navi bested them, we saw Navi take Overpass and Inferno, and that was when Zeus had a huge game.
Oh, it's a third map Inferno on a grand final. Of course it is.
This is going to be such a good series.
I'm not complaining at all. As much as I love Mirage, we've seen so much of it, there is a certain air of excitement whenever you see third map Inferno, of course, on the grand final.
How many overtimes do we have on that map during this tournament so far?
Dude, I'm getting flashbacks to Boston as well. That was an Inferno to remember. That is a great map pool. So Overpass, where we did see Navi looking pretty fly versus MIBR. Now we get to see them do it versus Astralis.
If we're going to look at, I guess some win conditions right now, and we paint Navi as the underdog because they are number 2 to the number 1. when you look at, the pistol round conversion rate, I've been harping on about this the last 2 days. The fact of the matter is when they do win the pistol round, which is, it's bumped up from yesterday, I think they're up in the 60% now, they convert the second round 100% of the time. That is an insane stat. We cannot understate that because in Counter-Strike, with how many force buys we see getting won all over the shop, if you're able to convert the second, most likely they force ball, which means you guaranteed the third, and then they go into the first gun round, extremely low on utility. A map like Nuke, that's huge because they won't have the smokes, they won't have the Molotovs, they'll need a different approach to lock down bomb sites, and that is something which needs to be factored in here because how are you going to break that?
We have Astralis' Nuke undefeated. We have NaVi on their overpass, and then we get Inferno between these two if we get to that third. It feels too good to be true, and actually we should probably start talking predictions with our casters. It's going to be a tough one. It's the grand finals, our last prediction segment. Hey Wembley, why don't you say one loud hello to your casters for the grand final. It's James Bardolph and DDK.
Hello London.
James.
Looking really nice outside.
James, Dan.
This little booth.
This is not an easy task to predict this one. Look to the upcoming map, it was like 57-ish. What does that make you say?
I don't know, man. I'm throwing all the numbers out the window. Everything's going out the window.
Okay.
We've got Simple. We've got an Astralis that's never looked any better. We've got Counter-Strike in London.
That's not a prediction, Dan.
I know it's not a prediction. Alex, don't expect me to make sense right now.
All right, shut up, Dan. I'm going with NaVi. I think it's time for Simple to win a major. It's been weighed down too long, and I think that today is the day.
What better opponent to prove you're the best player in the world and best team than beating Astralis? Dan, I'm afraid I'm looking at you now.
Second time's the charm, as they say.
I can give you some more time if you'd like.
I'm gonna go Astralis as well.
Okay.
Why? Same for NaVi. I'm a mess. I think this game's gonna be a mess, Alex.
You're drunk on Counter-Strike. I don't blame you.
It's true.
Over to the panel for a moment then, Chad. Are you thinking with your heart, you're thinking with your head?
I've gone against Astralis way too many times this tournament, and every time they've come out on top. I think I have to go with Astralis here. I think just how well-rounded they looked yesterday, the type of Counter-Strike that they were playing, I can see it happening again today.
Shawnee.
Yeah, I've also gone against Astralis way too many times this event. And I'm going to do it again. I'm going NaVi. I think Simple is going to take this game. I wrote Astralis down this morning, but Simple and Electronic, I'm looking for them to dominate this series.
Oh, and I'm still scared to say mine. I don't even know yet. Let's check in with our worst analyst, actually. She's got the lowest percentage. But let's have a look. Maybe this will be a tale to tell. Maybe Eggs gets it right in the grand finals. Okay.
All right.
She's just getting her footing. It's a big choice.
It is the biggest decision so far.
This is the big one.
She can make up for all the errors.
She can redeem herself here. I think she's looking at Astralis.
Whoa!
Okay, another for NaVi. But we just said she gets everything wrong. What do we do now?
She's been sandbagging until the finals, obviously. She's been waiting for the finals, get you all betting the wrong way, taking all that money afterwards.
A Counter-Strike shark. Okay, I think I'm going to have to, I have to do this. I have to say Astralis. I truly cannot wait to see if NaVi can do it, but my head is telling me that after predicting Astralis and then they 16-0 MIBR, I just forever, a wound has been left. You can't doubt them. James, Dan, we'll be checking back in with you when that game goes live, and I can't wait to hear you boys go nuts. Cheers, he says to the crowd alone. Okay, so now we can focus on the first map. The first map is Nuke, gentlemen, and I can't see a world where you're going to tell me that NaVi can do this. No one has. 18-0, undefeated on this map. How would it happen, Chad?
Well, we saw yesterday what Liquid were able to do on the low buys. It was quite messy, actually, from the team of Astralis when they were taking the lower bomb side. Also in Yard, there was some really cool kills by Naf with the Deagle, twisted a lot of damage. So they can be pressure points because if Liquid can do it, NaVi are actually the best team in the world at those kind of rounds. So that means that if they can replicate this and then close down some gun round scenarios, they can get on top of that economy. They also get to start on the CT side in this situation. Sure. Look, the more impressive thing about this Astralis stat on Nuke is the majority of the time they pick it, which means the majority of the time they start on the T side. If you're winning that map time and time again from the T side, it means you have a huge amount of depth. Wow. It means that you're super prepared with a lot of different strategies, and we saw a couple of new looks come out yesterday, especially with top hits, how much control they were getting under, their protocols taking that part of the map. So you need to stifle them, you need to make sure that they can't get map control.
But you've also told me that NaVi, when they win the pistol, they always convert to the first three. If that's on the CT side of Nuke, there's some money, Sean, and that could get the ball rolling.
I definitely think so. I think Simple can control the outside yard, secret, ramp, and maybe upper.
On his own?
Yes, they will float him around the map the entire CT half, and he will not have a solid spot. And that's something that could catch Astralis off guard, because we didn't really get to see that yesterday out of Nitro.
I mean, that's something to keep our eyes on as well. Let's not forget, you've got Electronic, who if you want to set up a turret, you just say Electronic, and you just say a call out, ramp, and he's done. You set stuff.
Yeah, well, that's the thing with this kid, right? But the problem here with him is, and if he comes out here and he plays the same form of Counter-Strike we've seen the rest of the tournament, he's a legitimate top-tier, top 5 Counter-Strike player in the world right now. Because this is the biggest pressure he's ever been under on a stage like this. You have to factor that in. When you look in the booth on the other side, like I said, 4 of them have already won a trophy like this.
And someone to focus on now is the man who's going to be doing a lot of the talking in that booth. A pat on the back from Electronic, it's Zeus. What a story from Zeus. I mean, this is an in-game leader who left the NaVi team behind, left the jersey behind, and lifted a trophy with another roster. Now he's back, and he's in another grand final. There has to be some praise given here.
So many doubters, too, over the years for Zeus. He's historically put up low numbers as a fragger, but his teams are always up at the top. You cannot argue that he is not a good in-game leader. His teams produce results. Their trading is always excellent, and their map pools are very deep.
And he is a leader. He is that, leader you look to. He's loud, he's proud, he gets in your face. These guys argue, but they still make it work. And that's so impressive with the different styles of Counter-Strike that he's actually, put out there over his tenure as a top-tier player. He's played really slow, very strat-heavy, and now they play a lot looser. He works with the tools that he's got, and he gets the best out of them time and time again. Going toe-to-toe with Glaive, who took over from Carrigan, that's, a team which was already set up for greatness. He came in and pushed them across the line. Zeus has been building this for some time.
Yeah, and you can just see that as the huddles are still going on, at least for NaVi, that it's just the last couple of words, perhaps going over the first round, perhaps talking about the fact that you have to play like you're in your living room. You can't remember you're in front of thousands live who are going to be making a ruckus, as well as, of course, the hundreds of thousands watching at home, Sean. That you can't have that in your head.
I don't think they will. These are experienced veterans. They went through this in Cologne a month ago almost against Astralis. They've been there. They've done that. They've played tight games with Astralis too. These aren't blowouts by any means. Every game is very close, goes down to the wire. So I don't think we'll see any shaking nerves come out of NaVi.
Edward's glancing at the crowd, and I think one more time, London, I would love it if we could get those flashlights out. Just show them how many of you are here to watch them do what they do best. They can't hear you, but they sure as hell can see you. Let me see those lights. That's beautiful, and the players are taking to their seats, which means only one thing. I want to hear you, Wembley, on the count of 3. It's time for your casters to take over. 1, 2, 3! James, Dan, it's over to you.
Thank you so much, Alex. Yes, Wembley, it is time! Astralis and NaVi about to go toe-to-toe here, James. My goodness. These two teams have looked unstoppable all the way through to this point. They were destined to be in this position here in London. I am so excited. I think Alex painted it well. I'm drunk on Counter-Strike right now.
Rank 1 versus Rank 2. This is going to be quite a match of Counter-Strike. Starting on Nuke of all things, and that's only a few seconds away. So take a deep breath, ladies and gentlemen. NaVi are going to be starting on the CT side, Astralis on the T side. And I think you know what time it is. London, make some noise in this bitch!
Right, so the crowd's ready, James. Our teams are ready. The countdown's begun. I cannot wait to see which way this one goes. Astralis on that T side, as mentioned. They're going to have some grenades there on Glaive and Zipex as we get into this T pistol. Now it's going to be really interesting to see if they're going to play this one simple or if they're going to hit hard straight into the upper bomb site. Astralis, where are you right now? And
oh well, where's NaVi? NaVi's in CT spawn then, so we have a false start. That's the way we love to start a grand final.
They've all been trolled, James.
Not just yet, lads. Not just yet. Trollerino trying to disrupt some momentum early. Hopefully this gets sorted soon.
Yes, James, that would be
fantastic.
That'd
okay.
be lovely.
There we go. The round has been restored. Maybe somebody bought dual Berettas by mistake. Who knows? But I think we'll be into this one soon. So NaVi versus Astralis. It could really go either way. But for me, it'll be such a shame to see Simple leave another final without the championship. I think he deserves it. Okay, so someone forgot to connect to the communication server. That is why we haven't started. Hold on, lads. I don't think I've ticked all the boxes.
These guys are professionals, James.
We will see them in action very soon indeed. Quick alt tab and we should be good to go. Shout out to the keyboards. Always nice to see a keyboard.
You brought, what, 6 keyboards to the show match today?
Oh, there's Get Right's head. I signed his forehead earlier. Right. He didn't reply to me.
James, which way is this one going to go? We've got Nuke
the
here.
chicken went for NaVi there.
Well, yes. But,
So I think that says it all.
but this is Nuke, James. No one has been seen really challenging Astralis, already pushing them into that top gear just yet. And one thing we know about NaVi, Simple said it before, they love the emotional games. They really bring their best when the going gets tough, and it can't get tougher than this.
Finally, it's time to start that match! Everyone's on the team speak. Here we go. Astralis will be on the offensive. The desk showed how dangerous they can be on this T side, and they've got the grenades again. Glaive and Zipex have nasty plans in mind for NaVi, who have 4 players of Kevlar. Zeus has a kit if necessary, and Astralis will try to make it so.
Yeah, looking like they just want to go straight outside, down secret. Electronic will spot it though, which Astralis likely know that will be the case. They don't care. They're just going to keep barreling down as quickly as they can into that lower bomb site. Flamey awaits Simple in position as well. Astralis, they know they are expected. They know that NaVi have rotated lower. Will they try to play them for fools, or will they just still try to use that firepower and make it work regardless? Flamey plays around the smoke, pops one, more to be had here as he tries to get it Glaive. I don't know how Astralis can get this bomb down right now. NaVi players everywhere, another one coming in here. This is looking way too easy for NaVi so far, just Dupree alone.
3 kills for Flamey, looking like he's invisible at the moment, but not anymore. Dupree's done something, but not enough. NaVi got off to a solid CT pistol round. That looks very comfortable indeed. They had expectation of Astralis, and they managed to deal with it. And of course, Astralis have to be the most studied team in Counter-Strike. How do they keep surprising their opponent?
It's a very good point, James. One of the reasons of their consistency has been that their basics, their fundamentals are so untouchable, their defaults. Well, there's no one that can come close to them. And that is one of the secrets of Astralis and their success. And NaVi looking to make things dirty here, as Sean said, that they are the team to rip them apart. We'll see if they can get off to a good start here, or if these Deagles, this CZ and the Scout that Astralis have force-bought into, these are going to provide some problems. NaVi need that clean start. They've got to get a good economy straight away.
Will he see 1? Will he see 2? Glaive holding an angle, but you could argue that Electronic is better equipped. Now, this is a full investment from Astralis. They've left no money for AWPs. Everybody's in to try and get this one. Well, that was a close one. Device down to 1 HP. There's Dupree taken out on top of the roof. Nuke more awkward now outside than it used to be. Electronic still has a secret position, which means that NaVi can focus on A. Although Simple's now been picked off, but he's not always the most dangerous person on NaVi. You have Electronic as well. Very dangerous indeed. Oh my! Okay, maybe there's a plant in. It's 3-on-3. This could get dangerous for NaVi.
Yeah, Zipex looking quite savage so far with that Deagle, very fast. And now Zeus asking some questions in the lower bomb side. We'll spot one, and there's the bomb as well. Down on the floor, 30 seconds to go. Zipex holds the angle. Looking to be a turret, but Device, he has to go get the bomb. 1 HP, not good enough. Zipex still doing more damage though, caught out in the open. Deagle comes back out in time. Still has some bullets to throw at Zeus, but Zeus will get it done. NaVi will clean up the round, but that round looked dangerous.
Yeah, 3 players lost for NaVi. That's a pretty good round for Astralis. It's all about the impact to the CET economy once you lose the pistol. Now, once Astralis come to their buy rounds, if they are able to be successful, then those kills will most certainly pay off. For now, NaVi will continue 3 SMGs, and we see no investment from Astralis whatsoever in this round. 5 Glocks, 5 meat shields, maybe a bomb plant would be nice, but again, they can still try to focus on thinning out the utility for NaVi. Even if they don't get a kill, they can make them spend their grenades, those expensive $600 incendiaries. Plenty to spend money on for the next round for NaVi if Astralis give them the time to burn.
Yeah, it's a really good point, especially, as mentioned, both these teams just do damage in every single round, and it can be the difference between a rifle now or later on. It does seem like things will be cleaned up, and they actually get a kill out of these Glocks. Oh, okay, there comes another one. Now Glaive will pick up the bomb again, down lower. Surely, oh, I think he's just missed the bomb. Maybe there could have been a chance at a very quick plant, but he will be denied. But still, NaVi will lose 2 players, and as you mentioned, they expended a lot of utility in that round. So Astralis, despite having very little, are keeping them on their toes.
The buy coming out now for Astralis. 5 AK-47s and plenty of grenades. We know they're capable of fast plays. Who knows if we've seen their whole strap bag just yet here on Nuke. NaVi will have to be on their toes. For now, they will keep the money together and continue with the 2 MP9s rather than upgrading to the rifles. Let's see what Astralis can get into. Glaive with a smoke early to take away any vision of a sniper rifle. There is one on Simple, and the player is close to the CT side already. Astralis and Ninjas in Pajamas, 2 of the more notable teams on the old Nuke. But can NaVi match Astralis here?
So we'll see those very late outside smokes covering a path to secret. Now for NaVi, they don't 100% know whether or not players are going down there, but they have Electronic in a nice off angle trying to keep tabs on this. Let's see if he's going to be able to deal with these AKs. He has the MP9. They're going to line up potentially. No, there comes a very nice peek from Device. Expectant, cognizant, and Astralis will move forwards down to that lower bomb site.
Ramp is in the control of the CTs, and Control is in control. That room there is referred to as Control, but Flamey gets taken out of there. Molotov on the more important side. It's a cheeky peek from Glaive. He's blind, but he will manage to escape, and oh dear, Dupree will ring the bell of Simple. And that leaves only 2 NaVi players left, and now you start to wonder already about the economy for the NaVi side. The first buy round for Astralis, they've not lost a single player.
Yes, that is very troublesome. Can Edward hold on to his M4? And will we be seeing any AWPs here from NaVi? Might be a while. We'll have to wait and see how much money they have in the next round. I don't think they have enough with this loss bonus. So that's a worrying sign straight away, and that goes to show, just as you mentioned, James, in the Glock round, 5 Glocks, they have nothing. They kick 2 kills somehow to Astralis, and they burn all that utility, and that's why NaVi now don't really have any security going into the next round after losing this one. So Astralis, despite that shaky start, still looking like they might just be in control of Nuke.
Moving into round 5, you will soon see how important the kills in round 2 were for Astralis and what they've done to the CT economy. They're actually going to buy up NaVi, but they're going to buy with very limited supply. They have a UMP instead of a rifle, and use on the auto shotgun. It can be used well at close range. It was had a better spread, an improved spread from the devs, but still not an ideal situation here for NaVi. For those of you new to the game, the outlines of the players are just for spectators. The players cannot see that, just so we can see where everybody is. Right then, will we see a more aggressive NaVi here on Nuke, because they don't really have the grenades to hold as much map control as they otherwise might have liked to.
And we can see Dupree actually just making a lot of noise on the silo. I think they're trying to suggest perhaps maybe there's more players outside than they may intend to finish the round with. We'll have to see how it will develop here for Astralis. Electronic with a very fine angle there from the garage. He's fairly safe in that position, and lots of noise has been made outside for Astralis so far, but they've yet to really push all that far, and we can see that they start to go and check the forward positions once again. Perhaps trying to bait out a reaction from NaVi, knowing that NaVi don't have a lot, well, better weaponry than they do, that maybe NaVi might take some risks. They're really trying to force those risks, but NaVi holds strong so far.
Simple was in the ramp area, or the B area. As you can see, he's moved back to a more passive position, so he can retreat without getting trade fragged. You can see 4 Astralis players moving together. If you're wondering why, they're trying to use the numbers game to abuse the CTs, who'll have to defend with less numbers, but so far so good for the CTs. 2 kills, Electronic and Simple, of course. Dupree down low, but there's 2K for him. Now what do they do? 25 seconds on the clock. Where are the rest of the CTs? Where is it safe to plant the bomb?
Flamey long range with the UMP. It's not exactly ideal. He does have a teammate to come in to support him in Electronic with the M4, but very limited utility here. Some strong angles held by Astralis post-plant. Again, there is some time here to work something, but it's going to be very difficult. Edward will make his way in on the flank, looking to see if he can somehow get something done as he moves forwards. It might be his play that can set his team forwards, or perhaps Electronic causing a distraction. Edward Perfect. Gets to flank off. Now just Device in a 1 versus 2. He can't do it, but Edward can. And NaVi shut down Astralis after just losing the round.
Is there time to defuse the bomb though? Because he doesn't have a kit. It's going to be a close one. I'm not sure if he's got it.
Oh!
Oh no!
Oh, so close.
Only Edward gets away, just in case. He picked up the sniper rifle and took it to a safe haven, but they were like 0.3 seconds away from winning that one. And again, you go back to round number 2. Astralis did so much damage. NaVi has to cut corners. The last 3 players at the very least don't have a defuse kit, and that's what causes them to lose the round. So again, it is the impact of Astralis early on in these rounds which allows them to win that round later on.
I can't believe it, James. It looked like it was so smooth for NaVi, just so shy of time, but we do get the tactical timeout coming in from NaVi to decide what to do with this situation. They have a very limited amount of money across the remaining players, around $2,500 and less, but Simple, he saved an AWP, he has an AWP, and that is perhaps always a reason to just force buy it.
Yeah, well, I think it might be hard though on Nuke, because obviously if you have a map like Inferno, where you've got the funnel choke points, if you will, you can rotate to a different position and try and surprise people, but that might not be the easiest thing to do, and he would really have to increase his risk percentage to be effective if it was just a hero AWP. But again, we've got the SMGs, and there are places where they can be put to good use. We've got a fast play into the squeaky door position. It's been blown off, but still has the high ground for now. But Zipex will catch him off guard. More CTs in the A site though, but the trades go the way of Astralis. 2 players left, Simple dropping the bomb for now, and now he's 1 versus 3. He can't peek this forever. He's got to find something and get away. Oh, he's going for the no-scope, but that will be a nice spread of that Molotov, and it will force him back.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like there could be too much for Simple to accomplish here. He has to start considering, do I just save this up into the next round and maybe try and do something different? Try to reset it with the AWP, and it might just be the case here as he holds the ramp position. And you can see that NaVi even had a good setup to defend that upper bomb site. The only thing that was open was main, and Astralis had such a fast timing. And then he started with that first kill on Zeus on the hut position, and then the defense started to topple. So very well selected rounds chosen by Astralis. But again, Simple is always the X factor, James, and he has an AWP still.
He has, but he's had an AWP for more than 1 round now, I think, and hasn't really helped them much. Has to be said, they won the pistol. Beyond that, it's essentially a 3-0 scoreline for Astralis. Not much going the way of NaVi at the moment. Astralis are imposing their will. There is the man Zonic. After every draw throughout this tournament, that man spends hours counter-stratting their opponents every single time. Very integral part to the Astralis team, who have now tied the score and are in a much better situation. They've got money for a second buy if they are to lose a round, and now we have that hero AWP. Simple with the sniper rifle, the rest on pistols.
Can he do it somehow? Can he find a way? Oh, that's a missed HE. Oh my goodness, it does a lot of damage to his teammates. Device and Zipex a little bit tagged up because of that missed HE. That was supposed to blow open the squeaky door to allow a very fast timing to peek through it, to catch anybody coming through main, but well, it shouldn't matter too much for Astralis. They, of course, have significant advantages in this round, but they know that Simple is somewhere with an AWP. Always a problem, always a consideration, as they start to try to safely take the outside position with those smoke grenades.
So as you can see in the top right corner, that is a balcony the CTs could stand on, but the smoke obscures the vision also from the garage, which is opposite Edward, and other places. So, but you never know, with these smokes down, unless you have a CT on these stairs, you don't know if people have gone down or not. So it's really hard to try and position your team, if you are NaVi right now, in the right places to deal with what might be happening. If you want to go for that information, it's a risk as well. As you can see, they've only got pistols. Edward looking for a headshot, but he will be the recipient. And now it's a case of try to save the AWP. This is a round which NaVi are probably not going to win. And at this point, it might not be worth trying to save the weapon, but Simple's on the ramp and he's still looking into the B bomb site.
Yeah, maybe he can get a cheeky kill. Maybe someone will overextend and Simple can snap them up. But Astralis is one of the most disciplined teams. Oh, Zeus, he's been spotted out. Oh, hello, maybe not. But still, Zipex gets the kill and everything will be fine there for the Danes as they go back to the upper bomb site and get the plants in order, and Simple, once again, as you say, just sort of playing, well, just battle royale here, just trying to survive against the onslaught. And once again, looks like he will save the AWP. And this next round, they're going to have to make it count. His teammates will have a full buy. It will be, I think, the first full-on buy we're going to see from NaVi, in fact.
The loss bonus will be 2,900. They are quickly heading towards max loss bonus, which is 3,400. But all the money in the world may not save them from Astralis the way things are looking at the moment.
Oh, will they spot him? My goodness. Oh, they're everywhere, and that's it. Shot straight in the side of the head. Simple's AWP is gone in the most important round, James.
Very efficient from Astralis. They allow NaVi to take nothing into the next round. Very expensive to buy up on the CT side, but indeed their money is in the right place. Simple with 5,500. If he buys the AWP, he will be light on grenades. Very light indeed. In fact, he will have no grenades whatsoever. It was a late buy. I don't know if it was just a late buy or if they were discussing rifles and more grenades, but here we are. He's on the AWP once again. 5 for 5 at the moment is Simple. Ooh, we've got vintage plays now, opening the squeaky door to have a look into the garage and politely closing it. He has been well raised by his parents.
Quite the gentleman. NaVi waits. See what moves are made by Astralis, and the longer they wait, maybe the more awkward this becomes. And we can see Astralis are setting up a lot of nades here, perhaps into that upper bomb site with a set piece. And you can do a lot of very, very solid set pieces into this upper bomb site. Molotov, everything, top of the heart, just the rafters, just make life impossible for the CTs. And oh, the triple nade, Astralis. That is their signature move, it seems. Innovating with moves like that. And that's some of that demo viewing that Zonic has done.
Yeah, you can see they had a Molotov on the floor as well, potentially to bait someone into expecting them to push that door and stand in position for those grenades. They're dangling a carrot on a rope, no biters this time. NaVi still with 5 alive, trying to hold on to that smoke for as long as possible because it could be crucial.
NaVi almost out of utility in its entirety. It's going to be very difficult to hold a fast rush without kind of utility, and Glaive will make a quick move here towards the ramp, start to suggest some pressure, some presence. And then he backs away again. NaVi still not sure exactly what's going on right now, but here come the grenades, and Astralis, they have no more time. They've got to commit with this and push forwards, and Device opens things up with the first frag. Edward up high on the rafters. My God, Glaive, that's fantastic. Zeus, can he be better? That's one down, more to go as he tries to swing around the side. He's successful, but 10 seconds to plant the bomb. Can Zeus do this? Can he survive? No, Dupree shuts it down, and Astralis with a very slow round. Play it perfectly from start to finish.
Takes as long as it takes, but they move in with confidence. What an entry from Glaive, almost looking directly up and shooting straight in the face. There we have Electronic getting punished for looking for information, wondering what Astralis were up to. Surely somewhere there's a gap in the defenses, but apparently not. At this point, doesn't really matter how many Astralis players are lost because they are winning every single round, and indeed, NaVi are now at maximum loss bonus. This means that between their buys, they've got enough money to buy Kevlar and a pistol, the odd grenade here or there, so these rounds can still be dangerous for Astralis.
Absolutely. These players lurking all over the place with these pistols. A couple headshots and the round swings. Perhaps Edward can have a better time of it in this round, being the solitary Deagle. That one-shot kill potential at any range as strong as Zipex with the transfer. Ooh. That is fancy stuff there from the man as he falls back to safety.
So again, where Zipex was standing there is a good position if you're on an anti-eco, because if you get pushed from the door, from the hut, from the squeaky area, you can enable yourself to have a 1 versus 1, and you can easily retreat if you need to and have more 1 versus 1s or otherwise. So you don't want to go too deep on your own if you're the only person in that area and most of your team are focusing on the outside. Edward now alone trying to hold on to an AK. He's got 2 kills in this round, but again, it's not really amounting to much here for NaVi. Beyond the pistol, we're looking at 0-6 in favor of Astralis, and that does not bode well for the remainder of this half.
Absolutely. It is always a dangerous sign to see Zipex having a good game as well. And so far he looks very focused indeed. And Edward, can he save this AK? Oh, Glaive is close. He hears the stepping. There's the peak. Oh, this surely should go his way. Oh my God, he finally gets it right at the end there. So keeping that AK into the next round. Always nice to have an AK on that CT side. And as we move into the next round, as you mentioned, James, there's a lot to answer for here for NaVi.
That transfer was outstanding. Zipex, always my pick For those of you in GoTV or the Twitch Premium Pass, Zipex should always be watched. And somebody made a thread recently asking why. The reason why is because his decision-making is something that you can learn from. If you look at what he is doing, I think if you ask yourself what you would do in his position, often it will be a more aggressive play. But he can allow you to have a better balance by watching what he does and play for your team instead of playing for yourself. That is why you should always watch Zipex when he's on the server.
Yeah, he definitely embodies that sort of consistent approach that Astralis have from a decision-making perspective, for sure. And as we go back into this one again, NaVi, they have so much money now as they have the full loss bonus of $3,400. They've got the AWP on simple, the majority of nades that you would need to have a decent CT defense. But they need something more than that. And they got some aggression here, perhaps outside. The forward smokes come in. Electronic into a forward position. There's a flash for him. But Device over the top here, looking to see if he can find this push. But nothing is given away from NaVi so far. And in go those triple nades once again to the top of Hut. But you can see that NaVi don't have anyone there.
The funny thing is, in the earlier rounds, Zeus was playing there.
Yeah.
But now, perhaps NaVi are terrified of going there ever, because we're seeing it repeatedly now. So that may condition them to almost have like a weaker approach to the squeaky door position, which may pay off later on. Electronic is on fire! And now he is barbecued by the gun of Glaive. The AK runs hot. Simple moving away from the outside area. So this is a lot of map control which has been taken by Astralis, and it has the effect of denying information for NaVi unless they want to take a risk and look towards the balcony. Otherwise, it is complete guesswork, and you can see from their positions they don't know what's going on. But Zeus is looking for information. If he holds here and these players move through at the right time, you might see something. Trying to double pick out of CTs, edging forward is Zipex. Now Magix has to back off. He's in a 1v1, but he's carrying the bomb. He cannot afford to take this duel and lose.
Yeah, and there's not much time left, and holding lobby as a CTs is a very aggressive maneuver, and it can really cause problems for the T side because you get so much information. And as you mentioned, that bomb is, oh dear, hello, didn't expect that one, Edwards. Straight through radio room. It's Glaive as Astralis make the move, the decision to go towards the upper bomb site, and it was a great call. As we can see, they are flooding in there. And it doesn't look like NaVi are really in position to do anything here. They have just been completely outplayed in this round, and Device will make it worse, as once again it is just, it's Save Simulator 2018 here for Simple.
Yeah, and they're downloading the DLC as well at this point. So you saw the bomb was, Zipex was in that same position, and Magix was holding the bomb behind him. Denial of information is very important for a T side. If the CTs figure out where the bomb is going, it makes it easier for them to try and win a round. So he had to not try and trade the frag. Again, if he loses, maybe that's what causes NaVi to win the round. Simple, almost a highlight, but not quite. Dupree will delete him, rub him out with an eraser. 7-3, 7 rounds in a row for Astralis. Getting to the point where they're going to start to lose money because they're winning all the rounds. Not quite there just yet, but they are close. Now, NaVi for the most part have $3,500, but Edward had 8,800. So he spent some money and put an AWP on Simple. And he's brought down, he's gone essentially for a force buy. So this is some kind of weird half buy from NaVi. Can it make the difference?
Well, in this level of play, Astralis may never expect this. We'll have to see. Magix goes first. Oh, very nice there. On point on the transfer. Up to Hut. Another head rolling on the ground thanks to Magix as more players come into that upper bomb site. But it looks like the reinforcements is going to stop that push for Astralis, and they're going to have to reconsider things. But in a 4 versus 2, they are happy to now just change the pace.
Again, you see all the rounds prior where Astralis put grenades to that position to try and deter someone from going there. NaVi picked the right timing, but still get shot in the face. And getting shot in the face is a problem in Counter-Strike. And now we have Astralis in a 4 versus 2 with yet another bomb plant. We see nothing but success, and Glaive is leading by example, 13 for 7 at the moment, top fragging on the server. And of course, he is the in-game leader.
And indeed, when we saw this veto, we knew that this map will be the greatest challenge for NaVi, most certainly. As Astralis are just so impeccably good on this map, it's quite scary, isn't it, James? It's just will there ever be someone?
Get your marshmallows out.
That can stop them on this map. It's just so beautiful to watch them play. It's just as Sponge was saying on the desk. Astralis, they don't play boring Counter-Strike. They have so many details, so much nuance to it. And again, as you mentioned, Magic's just, even though they didn't expect it, you also have the individual skill to just back it up if a surprise is coming your way. That is difficult to deal with. And once again, the full buy comes out from NaVi, but this time they have a twist.
2 sniper rifles for NaVi. Flamey has picked up the second one. Very capable with the gun as well. But are NaVi capable at this point of even taking a buy round away from Astralis on Nuke? The answer's been no so far. Will it be this that makes a difference? It is, again, just abusing the man advantage. Even if he shoots one of them, which he won't, there are so many more to trade the frag. Taken out immediately. How many does he see on the death cam? What is the response? Electronic caught out of position. And again, it's a landslide so far for Astralis. Edward desperately trying to shoot through a smoke, nothing doing. Is it safe territory again?
Yeah, that, oh my goodness, that 1-2 punch there from Astralis. As you say, so out of position, just caught so off guard by the pace. What a beautiful selection of round once again from Astralis. They are just making all the right calls right now. And would you expect anything less, especially on Nuke from them? And it's hard to watch when you want to see that double AWP setup be the difference for NaVi, but you're going to have to rethink that, perhaps.
Are we looking at 12-3 in this half?
It's
time to ask the question.
Yeah, it's going that way for sure. Just a few more rounds and Astralis will be there. NaVi, will they throw in some aggression? That's another hard adjustment to make against Astralis because they're always looking for that aggressive move. They're always looking for that in a way that you're thinking, maybe you can surprise them. They always just seem ready for it.
So much harassment at the end of the rounds. So much harassment. NaVi gonna have to change their phone numbers. 9-3. And what is there to say at this point? Magisk is he's just shy of $15,000. So I do think he's probably at the point where he's losing money by winning all the rounds, because it's not expensive enough for the T side. A landslide for Astralis, 9 from 9 since the first buy round between the two teams. Let's see how it continues. We've had slow rounds, we've had fast rounds. Again, we've got the door being blown off, and that really makes you even more nervous towards that A site.
Oh, nice there from Edward.
Oh, hello.
That is so cool to see. Some detail there from NaVi.
There's one for YouTube.
They'll see some damage to Dupree as well, and he has frequently been found up there on that silo position. Electronic will be completely safe from that flash as Simple is looking for where the blind spot is, which is secret. They don't know NaVi, if any Astralis players have made it down there just yet. Astralis have been very good at sort of making it really hard to guess what they're actually doing. They have presence all over the map, sort of suggesting that maybe they're here, maybe they're there. It's a constant guessing game for NaVi.
I want to see the T's go down secret now, because Simple is waiting with an AWP. That's going to be juicy, very juicy indeed. I want to see that kind of exchange. But Astralis are harassing multiple parts of the map at the same time. They've crept into the ramp position as well, as you can see. Instantly, you can't look for information. It's like they're forcing NaVi to guess the entire round. If you peek, these AKs are too strong. You're going to get shot in the face.
Oh, speaking of which, Simple strikes from the grass like the snake unseen with the AWP. He can't adjust in time. It's Dupree who makes the kill, and now Astralis once again punch it hole through the defense. Edward with the spray, but he is going to be taken away, and that looks like it could be it, because Electronic, he's 1v3. How can he do this? Oh my goodness, Electronic! One more to go though, bomb planted. He will quickly apply the pressure, tapping on that one as he moves forward through the door, trying to guess. But it's going to be made very difficult. He's up against Device, and he's going for the hold. My God, Electronic! That's the play NaVi needed to get back in. That's the kind of brilliance you want to see from them.
Finally, a round has been won by NaVi, but look at what it took. An individual play from Electronic, a well-placed Molotov, and Device, it was his turn to guess. Finally, to get something out of this. Great transfer there from Electronic. Round number 4 on the board. Is that enough? After all of one round of success for NaVi, Astralis have taken a timeout. They will not allow them to have any kind of momentum. They'll have to sit and wait for a fair few seconds now. Of course, Astralis not shy on money at all. NaVi will have a reasonable amount for this buy. There is the overlay. Device and Simple sniping. And Electronic with an AK. I mean, the AKs have been a problem They have been a problem in this half so far. Astralis, can they get to double figures now? The 12-3 is off at the very least. So we have about 880,000 people watching. We want to get to 1 million. Get your grandmas to get their iPads out and tune in to FACEIT.
Well, it's back in this one now. NaVi with a quick pause. Electronic perhaps with that clutch, he can bring them back into this one. Lift the spirits. And he waits outside. Oh, there's one. And maybe a second falling into the spray, but he can't make it work for the second. But just enough distraction for Edward to have a go of it. But how has Magis done it once again? Ready for anything. Simple now with the AWP looking into the yard, trying to spot out Magis. He's been such a problem, and they can't find him.
2-on-2. Plenty of time for Astralis. Moving towards the B bomb site. What's the rotation like for the CTs? Flamey is on A for the time being. It's Simple. He's in the lobby area, so they are out of position at the moment. Charging into the vent position, which means Astralis will hear where they are. They know roughly where NaVi are coming from, so they're going to have really good post-plant positions. Device and Dupree. Simple's reload will concede his position yet further. Now, where are the Ts? It's a guessing game. We've got a Molotov and a smoke, NaVi. May not help them too much. We've got one T going towards control. It's a great headshot from Device, and that leaves Flamey alone. A smoke on the bomb, a flashbang, a desperation. He doesn't even have a kit. Nothing doing for NaVi in that round. 10 rounds for Astralis. Some people pay for this level of domination, Dan.
That headshot from Device was absolutely disgusting. Oh, man. And Magisk getting the second kill onto Edward. That was the problem. Again, just... Oh, yes. You love to see that. Maybe not if you're NaVi, but if you are an Astralis fan, certainly.
NaVi fighting with pots and pans in the last round of the first half. Electronic with an M4, everybody else with pistols. 5-7, still good for a one-shot to close range. And there he is, Youth back on the roof once again. Was avoiding the area for a while. And now he's gone. It's not really working for him, is it? Device popping some windows, maybe trying to obscure some sound, or suggest that players could quietly get to hell underneath the ladder position. So it's anti-eco territory for Astralis at this point. 4 more to find.
And you do indeed have to take it carefully. The Eagles, once again, you really can't understate how dangerous they can be if care is not taken. And Dupree is moving into a very strong position. If he can get hold of it, the Rafters then opens up the entire upper bomb site for his team. And here he comes, unbeknownst to NaVi. And there it is, cleans up that upper bomb site. Simple comes into play with the Deagle, can't get the connections he wants. Denied by Xyp9x, but meanwhile, Electronics back at it again. A third from him, a 1v2 for the ace. Can you believe it? But finally, Magis comes in again, sweeping him down. And that will be the half. 11 for Astralis, 4 for NaVi.
That is a huge statement of a half for Astralis in the first map of this series. It's a grand final of a major, and you still wonder if Astralis is smurfing.
That's a very good way to put it, James. I mean, again, we do have to temper this result. Just knowing how good Astralis are on this map, we knew that this should be the most difficult test in this best-of-3 grand finals for NaVi. So we do hope they can get the recovery in moving into the second half, but they absolutely need this pistol. If they do not start with a good economy, you really dread what lies in the near future for them.
Right then, is 4 rounds enough for NaVi to fight back on their T side? They will be the aggressors now. 2 players with grenades here, Electronic and Zeus. All Kevlar for Astralis, trying to absorb these bullets. Will it be a fast play into A perhaps from the Ts? They're getting into lobby at the very least. And it seems like grenades are being lined up on the roof. We have the door blown off early on, and Glaive will take it in the face from Simple.
Very good start there for NaVi, and straight down the vent indeed, looking to outmaneuver Astralis. It would be a good change for them, and they're all going to dart down there. Astralis can't know how many players, but Xyp9x is about to spot it out, as he'll now know they're planting on that lower bomb site, calling for reinforcements. Can't connect those long-range shots. Still a man advantage here for NaVi as Device goes in. Oh, it's so scary though.
Are they lining up for a double peek here? The T's, well, it might be a quadruple peek. They're all here. The trades are massive for NaVi, and they look really damn good to win this pistol. Again, there is no diffuse kit in this round. Xyp9x needs to get a lot done, and the T's are all over the place. How does he even find all of them? There's a crossfire on the side, and Edward will be enough. There is a pistol round. That's exactly what NaVi needed.
And just a quick moment, bit of relief there for NaVi. Quick moment to breathe. Great start from them indeed, Simple kicking things off, and that defense was beautiful there. Putting all the bodies in the right places and all the bullets as well. Good hold, and now NaVi, they've got to do... I mean, it used to be taken for granted, James, winning rounds against Force Buys, but when it's the likes of Astralis, a Force Buy is still very hard to win.
I think on some maps, Astralis are the toughest team to win this kind of round against. Inferno, namely, one of them. Considering Astralis' T side, I can't imagine they've overlooked this as a CT on round 2 after losing the pistol. Those CZs are very dangerous. There are plenty of close quarters positions. You could even have one person on a close corner and somebody just moving up some stairs very quickly, just like that. Speak of the devil, they've got it right here. Dupree cleaning up. He is bleaching the floor. 3 NaVi players left, and what do you do now? There's 1 gun on the floor. 2 guns on the floor, in fact, but they continue to get some frags. Pacipex now, it's his turn with a CZ, although they may try to drain his bullets, but again, he's baiting. Glaive comes out from nowhere, and there are 2 NaVi players left. There's the bomb lost as well. Still, no weapons picked up yet for Astralis, but Flamey has a lot to do, and he won't do it. Astralis are devastating, doesn't matter what they have.
You gotta give it to them. Those bait setups were incredible. How can something so simple be so effective when you have that perfect timing? You know, it's all the Astralis players, they just have this crazy link. The chemistry on that team is definitely really helping in rounds such as this. Just perfect timings in the peaks will take distraction on this angle, the teammate peaks from another, and with those CZs, as you mentioned, James, it is just so strong and beautiful to finish it off with the Scout and NaVi. They are going to have to force buy their way back into this one. We've got Deagles out.
Good luck with that. Astralis will turn your dreams into nightmares. Bunch of Deagles and a CZ for NaVi. At this point, they've got 2 smokes and a HE. They don't even have a flashbang. This is a pure aim round. It's a grenade, and Zeus will take a small chunk of damage. Glaive moving up the stairs now of the secret position, but Flamey is waiting for him. When does he choose to peek? Will there be a flashbang from his teammates? We've got people advancing their position. Device may have to fall back. Simple going free. He'll get shot in the face though. But the T's have the numbers advantage, and finally they'll get some kills. 4 on 2 for NaVi. Can they force right back?
Turning the tables. NaVi, can they close it though? Dupree out in the open with the Galil. It will not work out for him. Zeus will take him out, and now with Magisk as the last man standing with the UMP, it will be tough. The element of surprise is key, and well, that's been given away. Picks up the Galil though, and he will rotate, or at least suggest a rotation, but caught up the ladder. That's the close that NaVi wanted. 4 players survived. That's a lot of weapons collected, and Astralis' economy turned to dust.
Surely they fix it this time. NaVi with half the score of their opponent, but a world of opportunity, and a tactical timeout has been called by Astralis. Will they go for the CZ play again? Will they go for setups, bait setups number 2? I'm sure they have an album of just photos with smiley faces on where they troll their opponents with CZs, and indeed the CZs will be out once more. So this is another very dangerous round for Astralis, for NaVi, sorry.
And it's a mind game situation as well between the 2 in-game leaders. Now we've already shown, Astralis, we've already shown the round that we play, or we were very successful with that bait setup in the lower stack. And of course, to some extent, that was a reaction from Astralis. They knew the rotation of NaVi down into that lower position. And have they scared NaVi from going there now? Now do Astralis stack the upper bomb site, expecting NaVi to do something different? Well, looks like NaVi might be doing something different here. We'll see the initial HE grenades as they take control of Lobby and Radio and Squeaky, looking for pushes from Astralis. And indeed, Astralis have an upper setup here. Zipex taking quite some damage, but still, ever dangerous. He's not dead yet, and so he will be in a problem no matter what his health is.
All right then, do Astralis start to fish for information? Okay, it looks like we have the wall of smokes outside, so even on a round such as this, NaVi have been forced to give the maximum respect to their opponent. Oh, look at that counter smoke from Glaive. That is going to ruin the timing of NaVi. He was standing in main that entire time, Glaive, with his CZ out. And he has been waiting for this wall of smoke so he can stop them from advancing towards secret. Now, with the time it takes that smoke to disappear, there could be 2, 3, 5 Astralis players on those secret stairs. Do NaVi abandon what they planned to do previously, or do they continue? Now it's the guessing game. Now they have to wonder, where are these CTs positioned? So many close corners on Nuke, you're pretty much guaranteed to lose some people in a round such as this.
Yeah, that smoke is absolute genius indeed. And there's 30 seconds for NaVi to move now. They are really being played like a fiddle with that one smoke that Glaive put down. The impact could be enormous because NaVi won't have time to check for everything. It's going to be chaos moving into this lower site. There is less than 20 seconds going into the plant on the lower bomb site. Electronic gets a quick double, but Zipex is positioned to try to stop the plant. That's all he has to do. Stop the plant. Edward takes him down. 8 seconds to plant the bomb. Can they stop it? 5 seconds. Is that bomb going to go down in time? Oh, I don't know if there's time here to plant the bomb. Oh, no!
Oh my God, I could barely watch. I could barely watch.
That smoke.
That is terrifying. That's that smoke, exactly.
Highest value smoke ever.
What now? That is the what now smoke. And the answer is, I don't know what now.
And for those of you thinking,
how do you lose an anti-force by timeout?
Well, that's the thing. Like to those people wondering, why is it that why didn't you just go through that smoke? Well, NaVi didn't have any map control, and the CT rotations are so quick on this map that it's a complete guessing game, as you mentioned, James. For the Ts, there could be loads of CTs behind that in all of these setups. You want to make it a sure thing, and you have to make that hard decision. Do we just go on a gamble and maybe get absolutely taken down by these CZs, or do we try to play a safer route when that smoke goes away and then just have no time? It's actually chaos either way.
Yeah, that is terrifying. They're just outmaneuvering the entire time. I'm just glad there were no Astralis players in the show match. I don't know about you. But this is pretty damn scary. That said, NaVi have AK-47s out, and 7 rounds is still doable.
Yes.
7 rounds is still doable, but their margin for error is continuing to get smaller and smaller here on the first map of Nuke, which was the pick of Astralis.
Yes, and you love to see it. Dupree out with the auto shotgun. Often see the shotguns in play on the upper bomb site of Nuke. It's always a favorite, and we can see Device having fun with a very good angle there, just playing it very safe with the AWP, waiting for NaVi to emerge. NaVi are playing a slower round here, just trying to cross their T's, dot their I's, make sure that they are getting map control safely.
I feel like an auto shotgun should always have a first sticker on, because he revolutionized the use of that weapon in ways that other people simply cannot emulate. Now, I don't know if that was the plan for that smoke. I don't know if it was supposed to go, if it's supposed to be there so it goes through the wall, or what that was, but
it either looked like a complete mistake or a setup indeed.
Or maybe he just clicked mouse 1 by accident. Anyway, we've got just shy of a minute for NaVi to walk into the Gatling gun. That is Zipex, and again it's a bait setup, but Device does not hit the mark this time.
And we can't stick around for too long. You can see Simple almost had Device in his clutches. Zipex though with another off angle, indeed, just falling back, spotted, forced out into position. Trade is had. 35 seconds to plant the bomb, and the auto shotgun now comes into play as NaVi desperately and quickly try to get themselves on that bomb, but Dupree opens the door. That's all he has to do, and now there's a huge threat and presence in the control room side of the lower bomb site. Zeus goes looking for it, but how much time is Dupree killing here?
Opening the door just to try and delay the plant, but there is cover. Dupree got to go around the corner now, jumping because he knows he's close to the shotgun. He has advantages. There we go, black. 2 more T's to find. Man advantage for Astralis. They don't have a kit on the players who are alive at the moment. Perhaps there is one on the floor. An AK's been collected by Dupree, and Molotov. Simple may have to do a lot here. NaVi have almost abandoned the site. Edward looking towards control. The other side, you can do a lot more from that side, which is currently on fire. That bomb is so far ticked in a moment. They're going for a 10-second defuse now. Oh, and there it is. The cover is enough. Simple was compromised. And Astralis lose. They're going to steal, another round. 14-6. This is all Astralis on Nuke.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking, that round from NaVi. They definitely had a solid shot to make that one work. But again, you have to credit Dupree just with that auto shotgun. He could have just had a knife. And again, had huge impact with just knowing how to play his presence and how much of a threat that actually was. And obviously does upgrade to that AK in the end. And Dupree has been, everyone on Astralis has just powered up, it seems, as time has gone on since Magic's joined the team. And 14-6 now. There is almost no room at all for NaVi to make a mistake as they try to make this work with the AK's limited utility. And looks like Astralis are ready.
There is a smoke drop by Dupree. They need to go through that glaive outside, still leading by example. 17 kills now, along with Dupree. Plenty of players seen around the hut. And again, just so dominant from Astralis. Look at the desperation there. Zeus just bouncing through, but this is not Super Mario Brothers. And Simple will be left on his own, 1 versus 4. Does he think about the championship slipping away from him? Again, this is the pick of Astralis, so they may expect to win this in 3. So this may not be mentally too defeating for them if this is to continue like this until Astralis win the map.
Definitely, I think, Overpass is such a home territory for them. They're so very strong there, NaVi, that they can get a very strong reset into that one. But this is the hardest way for sure for them to start against Astralis on a nuke, and there it is. Map points for Astralis, 15 for them, 6 for NaVi. And NaVi's money absolutely sucks.
Well, well, well. Not how you want to start a major final, that's for sure. Even if you know your opponent has a big advantage. The first map of a best-of-3 series, and Astralis are firmly at map points, and they've got plenty of them. NaVi less than half the score of their opponent. Deploying some grenades outside on the T side. Zipex around the ramp, Glaive on the outside or Secret. And there is the wall. No counter smoke this time from Astralis. But what else do they have up their sleeve? Astralis is like the worst magician. Every time they do a trick, somebody dies.
Device is positioned himself with that orb towards that secret position. And Electronic is closest to it. Are there any setups here for NaVi to try with their limited utility? They have some flashbangs to maybe get a frag here for Electronic. Looks like Device is in a very safe position that he can just back away safely if he gets flashed. So we'll have to see if this one works out. Will there be a flash on his angle? Device now edging forwards. Electronic, he has been stellar so far for NaVi. Can he make it work? Oh, it's a miss from Device, but Electronic is still alive. There goes the grenade to delay them. But Astralis, they know exactly where the T's are at the moment.
Still so scary to try and punish Device, because how many times have you seen one CT holding an angle, takes a shot, kills or otherwise, falls back, and you chase after him, you run straight into another one who gets a free kill. You just don't know. And here he is again. Grenades to follow up as well. 2 players left now between Astralis and the first map, and there goes Simple as well. 3 kills for Device, and Edward can't do anything about it either. That is Nuke firmly, very firmly taken by Astralis. 1-0 now in this series.
What a performance from Astralis on their home map. Would you expect anything less? They have been incredible this entire tournament. We saw their chemistry, we saw their study with the triple nades. Classic Astralis. We saw just how on point they are individually, how they can autocorrect with that talent that they have on the lineup. It is a fantastic way for them to start off, but NaVi, a lot for them to answer for.
A lot indeed, and we'll find out if they can do it after the break.